Dalvin Cook is to visit the New York Jets this coming Sunday. I think the news broke shortly after Aaron Rodgers did restructure that deal. So this kind of got the wheels turning. Do you think Aaron Rodgers' new deal is making room for this visit from Dalvin and the reports of him more than likely signing here?
There's no question about that. Zero question about that. You know the old saying, if it looks like a pig and it smells like a pig and it's oinking, it's a pig. There is no doubt that Aaron Rodgers takes a $35 million pay cut, and then the next day, Dalvin Cook is on a jet to New York to go meet with the Jets. And now the next day, there's these reports coming out that Dalvin Cook is saying that it's the most likely destination for him. It's 100% a big part on Aaron Rodgers getting that pay cut that he wanted to get Dalvin Cook. Now, I don't know if it was only Dalvin Cook, but definitely Dalvin Cook was a big part of that.
Right. And when you look at like the tenacity of Robert Saleh, kind of the chip on the shoulder that Aaron Rodgers has, Dalvin Cook was just cut, from the Vikings, kind of not crazily, because I said in a previous video, like what Alexander Mattison is doing is enough. And they were just getting tired of, I guess Dalvin missing 2, 3, 4 games a year. You just, you have Justin Jefferson, arguably the best receiver in the league. And then you draft Jordan Addison, who I thought was the best receiver in the draft. And then you have TJ Hawkinson there too. Like they've got a ton of passing ability to where when they let Dalvin go, like at first you were like, what the hell? This is an elite back. But then when you dug into it, it made sense. Yeah, I would say definitely as well that that Aaron Rodgers' new deal made room for this. And, for Dalvin to actually consider the Jets, I'm actually a fan of it because it's just kind of lead us into the next segment or the next question too. Kind of like you said, as a Browns fan, and I've never been a Jets fan or a Browns fan, but I've understood the franchises, and hell, even with being a Saints fan, we've had our series of letdowns. When you saw Aaron Rodgers go to the Jets, when you know the type of defensive roster they have, when you know the rookies that they have, the young players that are great, kind of makes you want to lean in and be like, wow, is this really going to be a team that kind of just not rebuilt in one off season, but they really just had to go and grab the quarterback, and that whole, they're a quarterback away. That really might be one of the few times we see that. And it's true, kind of like with the Buccaneers, kind of like with the Los Angeles Rams. So if Dalvin Cook does sign here, man, do you think this is going to completely pull together that Jets roster? And I guess would this make you feel better for the Jets to make a deeper run? Because I know it would for me. I still view Dalvin as elite. Dude can really run any type of run play, of course. Great receiver out of the backfield. I know he's got his injury bugs at times, but he's still a top 3 back in the league when he's at his peak.
Yeah, I mean, Dalvin Cook is a world-class running back when he's healthy. You hit the nail right on the head there. I personally believe that the Jets already have a solid all-around roster. I don't even think they need Dalvin Cook. I think their backfield is actually pretty good with Breece Hall if he's 100% healthy and Michael Carter as well.
Right.
I think that backfield is
Michael Carter.
Yeah, I think that backfield is already set. That's why when I heard that Dalvin was going to meet with the Jets, I was pretty surprised because I thought running back wasn't really anything they needed. And we've seen this before. Another example of a team that was a quarterback away was the Broncos before Peyton Manning got there.
Yeah,
Peyton Manning gets there, and it puts them over the top. And I think that that's going to happen with the Jets. I think all they really needed was Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if anybody who can truthfully say that the Jets would have been a non-playoff team last year if they had a real quarterback, because Zach Wilson had a winning record, by the way, as the starter. He did. He had a winning record.
Weird as it is.
He sucked. He was terrible. The team was still winning though. And now you have a 4-time MVP on that roster. And if you get Dalvin Cook, that's great, but that's just the cherry on top. It doesn't really make a big difference.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, Breece Hall, yes, we know he was really great, and we saw his season get cut short. Michael Carter, I want to say he was another solid option that we saw working around in that backfield. But just this whole vibe that the Jets have this offseason, the roster that they're building, the roster that they're completing, if it's not already complete. And again, I was that guy that was like, Jets, turn away from Aaron Rodgers, because you've been a team that had to go out and get Robert Saleh. You went through the pains of Zach Wilson. Now you did grab a Sauce and a Garrett Wilson, and they performed great. Sauce Gardner is the best corner in the league as a rookie. That is unheard of. I don't think that was done since, in terms of numbers and I think Pro Bowl and All Pro, since like the 80s or the 90s. So definitely some legendary things. I'm just like, these guys have worked their asses off to get to this point, and then you would possibly bring in a a low key toxic guy in a way like Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not a Rodgers hater at all, but like attitude, character, that really matters in the NFL. We've talked about, noise behind teams. And, prime example, when the Broncos were going through new coach, new quarterback, and they were getting sold, I was like, hey, that's a lot happening. But now with all of this coming together with the Jets, and I don't know if they're just saying the right things or if they're actually doing the right things. I'm skeptical to buy in on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you kind of get where I'm coming from with Rodgers' wish lists in the past days. Like I said, when we got into the topic of Rodgers originally, the passive aggressiveness, the what's it called? Just the shenanigans at the podium and
Yeah.
with the coaching staff and whatnot. I mean, do you feel kind of hesitant to believe that the Jets can go far, whether they do or don't sign Dalvin? I want to know if I'm the only one here, because I don't want to, of course, nobody wants to be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, but I need to get your insight on it too.
I am not skeptical of them because I think that the only thing that I'm skeptical about is performance, not how the team is going to fit together. Ever
Yeah.
since Rodgers has gotten there, he seems super chill. Like he
Mhm.
seems like he's having fun and everybody's liking him. I mean, him and Garrett Wilson are developing a connection that is going to be one of the top quarterback wide receiver duos in the entire NFL right off the
Yep.
bat.
Yep.
And so everything is pointing to the direction of the Jets are going to be good. I have no reason to believe that they won't be.
Yeah.
But you are right there. There is a little bit of concern because it's the Jets. The
Yeah.
organization has it does matter. It really
Yeah.
does matter. Historically, the organization has not performed and has not lived up to expectations year in and year out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. This is definitely one of the biggest stories in the offseason, and I was so glad that all of this happened this week. I mean, NFL season's getting closer. You got a couple of Jets topics breaking and whatnot.